What is up, everybody? It's your boy CrazeMaze98, aka Nicholas Morales, founder of the EHG community, and here we are with another episode of EHG interviews. And I have a very special guest with me, is the one, the only CaptainKairo. If you want to go ahead and check out CaptainKairo's amazing streams, by all means, go on twitch.tv/CaptainKairo and make sure to show your support to him. I want to say thank you, Captain, very much for actually joining me today, and it's a pleasure to have you on this interview with me. Thank you.
Yes, man. Of course. I've been ecstatic ever since you hit me up with this idea. And it's really all I could think about, to be brutally honest with you.
Oh wow, I can see that we're both excited for this. This is actually pretty cool. This is pretty cool. So, but you know, people know us by our names, but let's talk about like a little history. We've known each other since, I would say, since Full Sail University, right? Since college.
Yes, sir. I would put probably like a date on it. 2014 GameStop, I think, is where we started, and then progressively after Full Sail, we went to the same college.
No, it was 2013, and it was actually the first 2 months.
You're right.
And
You're
then
right.
yes, and then it was GameStop because you were there working there.
Yes, sir.
And with that, you were there for your film degree, and I was there for my game art degree.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and what literally brought me to click with you as a friend is that we both enjoy gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Like highly. We're big gamers.
Massive, dude. I can't. Yeah. All day.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I just want to know, because I know we all had a place to start when it comes to gaming. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to know, when did you start gaming? When did gaming become a thing for you?
So when I was young, I want to say about 4 years old, I remember we lived in an apartment complex. Me and my mom and my stepdad lived together, and she had a Super Nintendo, which was the first thing I started playing on. And I want to say it was Donkey Kong. Of course, it was a long time ago. I was 4 years old, like I said. But the first game I really truly remember playing, and then me and my mom would play together, was Spyro, the very first game. And I would have trouble beating the levels, being a little 4-year-old that I was. But my mom would always come in, and we'd stay up for hours and hours, nights upon nights, playing Spyro. So that's where gaming really started for me.
Okay, so you started around the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, going into the Sony PlayStation era. That's sort of where I started too, and that was like one of the best eras for me,
Oh
honestly.
yeah.
Yeah. So but like everybody has like a major passion, especially when it comes to like things like for gaming, like specific titles, specific genre, specific gameplay. But what does gaming actually mean to CaptainKairo? What does it mean to you?
So since I've been playing gaming, or since I've been gaming, I guess I should say since I was 4. I mean, growing up, I've played games like Pokemon. I played Mortal Kombat on the Sega Dreamcast. I've done, PlayStation 2 all the way up into the Xbox 360 was when gaming really became a serious love for me. It was just something you did as a kid, right? Most kids played video games growing up. But whenever the Xbox 360 came out, I remember my parents took me to a pawn shop where we got my first Xbox 360. And I remember the guy there saying he could load 300 games for like an extra $50 onto the Xbox. And I don't think we ever figured out how to use it, but that's besides the point. I didn't have Xbox Live then, and I would just continue to play by myself. But I had a Blockbuster membership back when Blockbuster existed, and we would go. Me and 2 of my friends would go to Blockbuster. My parents had you can rent any movie or game, 2 of them, for as long as you want, and then you can return them and get something else whenever you wanted. So I became an achievement hunter. I got really excited. I would go grab games, and I'd beat them within a day or 2, and then get the achievements, and then take it back and get the next one and start racking up my gamer score. And all that kind of fell off when I got Xbox Live, and I started playing Call of Duty, which is a game I hated growing up. I thought Call of Duty was like, those people play Call of Duty. I don't play Call of Duty. I'm a real gamer type deal. But I played Black Ops 1, and I became insanely addicted to competitive shooters. And ever since then, that's kind of my main niche for gaming.
Oh, okay. So you started off pretty in the old school era with the renting of Blockbuster.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see, like when you actually rented the games from the Blockbuster, there was a bunch of different games
Oh yeah.
that you could rent from. But, you know, I know that a lot of gamers have a specific favorite console. So, what is your favorite console? Like, it could be either from the past or it could be right now. What is Captain Cairo's favorite console?
So it's a hard toss up, and I thought about this for some time when you'd approached me with the whole interview thing, and this was one of the questions you asked me about. My original answer was a PC, and I don't know if it's still going to stay the same, but it's such a hard toss up because the Game Boy SP has a huge meaning to me. I grew up and I like lived on that thing for years, and then after that, I mean Xbox. That's what I played on for years. I could never get into the PlayStation, just because of the controller layout for my own like personal thought process, where the D-pad falls into play. Um, but I feel like gaming was a lot of fun, but it wasn't like a serious thing to me until I got my PC, and it just felt
Mhm.
like a level of professionalism to gaming had come out of gaming on a PC. So I don't know, it's a hard toss up, but I'll go with my PC, and PC is my favorite thing. I love it.
Okay, PC gaming is especially like one of the starts, especially for gaming, especially
Mm-hmm.
for things like the Commodore and even before then. But as you know, like because you talked about having to rent out a bunch of games, like especially during that time from Blockbuster. What is your top three favorite games of all time? I have to know from either like the consoles to PC. Your top three
So
favorite games of all time.
my top three favorite games of all time. Um, Kingdom Hearts has to be my number one. I'll start from my absolute favorite and go down. Kingdom Hearts has to be my number one favorite game because of the memories I have playing it. I played that one a ton with my mom. Kingdom Hearts 1 I couldn't beat. We had the little booklet though, that
Mhm.
would kind of tell us where everything was. And then I was like 7, 8 years old, and then Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, and I was just like mad in love with it. I played it day in day out. I like 100% all of the maps. I beat Sephiroth in the game. I got the Ultima Keyblade, and at that point in time I didn't know there were other Kingdom Hearts games like in between that. And towards the release of Kingdom Hearts 3, I knew about all of the games, and luckily, I was able to play on a PlayStation where I played all the games from start to finish right before the release of Kingdom Hearts 3, and then played Kingdom Hearts 3 and just loved every single bit of it. I cried so much for the entire journey of that entire game. And then after that, I would definitely have to say Pokemon, which I feel like is a very bland pick, but it since I was very very young. I mean, I remember I got Pokemon Yellow, and then me and my stepbrother got opposing colors. I got red, he got blue, so, and then the story goes on, and I've continued to play every Pokemon game since. But as my love for the competitive grind has kind of evolved as I've gotten older, I'd be lying if I didn't say Overwatch wasn't in the top up there. I've That's the highest like ranking in a game I've ever gotten. And of course I want to continue to go higher. I play a lot of Valorant now, but Overwatch just will forever remain a part of me.
Okay, so as you see, like you have like a major area with the Kingdom Hearts area, especially that's one of my favorite games as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually pretty cool that you have those top because especially for me, Pokemon was a major start for me in gaming as well. Now, I want to go ahead and put this out there. Like, with EHG interviews, we try to go ahead and push out a lot of people from different areas.
Okay.
And before we had an actual guest here. I think you've heard of him. Possibly his name is Meyer,
Mm-hmm.
and he does amazing music, amazing beats. And I want to go ahead and play a little bit of like an example of his actual upcoming album, which is coming out pretty soon. So when it comes out, make sure you guys go ahead and watch out for its release. And I want to go ahead and play a little bit of a example of his brand new music on his upcoming album right now. So let
Okay.
me play it for you. And right there.
Okay. So I'm gonna be honest. This is a genre of music I listen to very consistently. After listening to it, I only got a snippet of it, of course. I like to listen to songs from start to finish, which I would definitely, once the album releases, I'm gonna check that out for sure. But the build up to it and the adding of certain tones as it goes on, through the clip that I've heard, it seems very exciting, and it has me very excited to check out Meyer. On a side note, of course, I know you and I know each other personally, and I've seen some of Meyer's work prior.
Mhm.
I think the guy is phenomenal. I think the guy makes really good music. I think he makes very good sounds that just feels right at home.
Yeah, especially with some of the work he's done for EHG community. He actually had made an intro and an outro for the actual EHG community.
Okay.
And when I was able to actually build a PC, I actually used his music at the beginning of some videos. And with that, like I can see him actually doing a lot in the actual music industry when it comes to like either regular music or even basically gaming music.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't wait to like see where Meyer goes on for that.
Sounds very exciting for the guy, and I have high hopes for Meyer, buddy.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Me too. And just in case, I will link his SoundCloud. So if you're watching this, you can actually go ahead and go into the description and take a listen to some of the tracks that Meyer has created.
Okay.
So let's get into the main thing that I brought you onto this interview for, and it's something that I'm actually excited to ask you about. So me and you, like we've been talking a lot about this project that you have been working on.
Yes, sir.
It's a major project, and I've been stating this out like on my videos sometimes,
Uh huh.
but I think some of the people watching have to know what it is. So my question for you is, what is Neon Pub?
So NeonPublic is a community I had founded, um, and at first I didn't really know where I wanted to go with it. I'll be 110% honest with you. It was just me. I wanted my own community at first, and I was like, but what makes a community? And I had to stop and think. And it was not the first time I've tried to think of a community. I've come up with numerous names, but I don't know when it just clicked in my head. The name Neon Public just it felt right. But the Neon Public is a community for creators alike. And our slogan, which is something I like to believe for a lot of people, is I feel like a lot of people, when they get into the industry or they're starting it out, a lot of people start and they're like, oh man, I can do this. And then they start to
Mhm.
fall out and they're like, what if I can't do it? And the Neon Public, our slogan is, we are the exception, not the rule, or we are not the rule, etc., whatever the exact slogan would be. Um, and with that, I want people to feel inspired. I want people to never give up. I want people to understand, you don't have to be a somebody, but not being a somebody doesn't make you a nobody. Every individual is unique. And at the Neon Public, that's a home for anybody and everybody.
Wow, that's very inspirational, especially for upcoming streamers that want to go ahead and be part of the streaming community.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not the only one in the Neon Public. You're not the only one. You have a team of your own.
Oh, yeah.
So who is this team that is part of the Neon Public? I gotta know.
So when I started the Neon Public, originally it was, like I told you, it was just me. And I didn't really know where I wanted to take off with it. And then me and my significant other, B Biohazard, it was just me and her. And then I got to thinking, I was like, what if we had, a couple of people and we started like somewhat of a stream team, kind of the leaders of the Neon Public. And we created households. So in the community, we have sub communities, where we're all under the same umbrella of the Neon Public, but it creates somewhat of a little bit of a competitive spirit, not just amongst ourselves, but amongst our community members. Um, we have 5 teams total, and they range of different colors. But we can get onto that, I think, a little bit later.
Okay, so that sounds actually pretty amazing to try to get even the viewers to actually interact with said streamers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So now actually speaking of the colors, because I've actually taken a look at some of the streamers that were actually part of the Neon Public team.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can see that you have different colors set for the people, like you have like people such as B Biohazard in pink. You have your Twitch in yellow.
Hmm.
Now, what do those colors specifically stand for? Like, especially you see them in the emotes that you can unlock on Twitch. What do they stand for each streamer?
So as and it's funny that I thought about this for a really long time. As we created these colors, or we didn't, obviously, we just picked the colors that we liked. And I approached the different people and I was like, if you could have a color, what would it be? And they gave their colors. But when I look at the people with the different colors, this is what makes me laugh a lot, is usually with colors, let's use red for an example, as an example, right? Red is a sense of power, typically. And easiest example is Power Rangers. The Red Ranger is usually the strongest Ranger, except for the off-brand Ranger that comes in later on in the show.
My
Um,
favorite color, by the way.
Here you go.
Mm.
So, but the person who's under red, if I were to use it as a color sense, which you typically associate colors with, I would put them under blue, right? Because blue is typically stands for wisdom. They're usually smart, but DJ is red, and I was like, I think it'd be a lot better because I feel like everything needs a change now. Um, and why let the colors define you, and when instead you can define the color? And so just pick your favorite color and then define that color. That color doesn't own you; you own the color, type deal. So that's kind of essentially what they stand for. Is each individual streamer has their favorite color that they are trying to make of themselves, essentially. So red doesn't have to mean power. Red can mean whatever you want it to mean. Blue doesn't have to mean wisdom or sad. It can mean whatever you want it to mean, etc., etc. And that's just kind of my whole aesthetic on the color picking.
I like that concept. I like the concept that you could be able to choose your own color and you can actually choose what it stands for. That's actually pretty cool and that's very creative, especially for all these different types of streamers with different colors.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Um, I really like that idea, but here's one question that I have to go ahead and give and ask you. As you talk, there are many different content creators. There are the streamers, there are the YouTubers, there are artists, there are musicians. So I want to know, how does Neon Public show their support to the content creators? Not just in the streaming area, but like in the YouTube area, the music area, art areas. How do the Neon Public team show their support?
So there's two. I guess there's two technical answers to this that I would give. In our Discord, we have a promote yourself tab. And today, it's constantly growing. There's constantly new ideas, innovation that we want to keep adding to the Neon Public community as it grows. But I joined it. I saw a friend go live on Facebook Gaming today. That I haven't talked to him since high school, and we weren't even like really close friends in high school. But I saw him go live, and it brought back like a sense of nostalgia from him streaming on Facebook. And I think it's cool that even though me and him weren't like really close friends, me and him now can share an experience that he enjoys streaming on a different platform than myself. But within the community, we have the tabs to promote yourself between the different teams. We have, this isn't out yet, but these are things that are coming. We're going to start doing some community challenges and start highlighting some of the streamers within our community. And we're going to handpick some of our favorite streamers and explain what works for them, and what could use work for them to kind of help themselves grow.
Mm-hmm.
And then so me myself, this is the start of my community, or it's something that I had started up. I go in and I try to, as often as possible, I try to stop by every single person's live stream, and a lot of other people within the community also do this. They go into each other's streams, and it creates a little ecosystem, which I think is fantastic to watch. But I like to go into everybody's stream and give them a follow, or if it's YouTube, give them a subscription, or Facebook. I guess it's following on Facebook. I'm not familiar with Facebook, so do excuse me. But that's kind of how we help our fellow Neonians, which was a coined term just this morning that we're running with now, grow, and it makes them feel welcome, makes them feel at home in a lot of senses. For example, there's a gentleman that I reached out to on Twitter. Me and him are both winners of this prize thing, and I want to swing by his stream. Of course, I'm busy. I've got tons of things to do, and I work a more than full-time job. But he said he has a good following. He has 4 times my following, but he said nobody comes and watches him, so he doesn't like to stream. And that hurt me, that made me sad, because I was like, that's so sad. I really want, if it's something you enjoy, I really want you to excel in it and succeed at it. But the
Mhm.
hard part about that is if there's so many streamers, the number of viewers start to drop as well. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're streaming, you're not watching. Um, but I just love to see people grow. I love to see the story of growth between people. And I've had a couple people within the NeonPublic community reach out to me because I'd join into their chat and I'd just, I'd stay there for a couple hours and I would chat and, hey, how's it going? And just kind of get to know them, introduce myself, who I am, thank them for joining the community. And then for some reason, like my chatting would help them grow in that one stream, and they would start to get numbers they'd never seen before. And I had one guy who would average 2 to 3, or he was usually averaging, I think, 2.8 is what he told me in that same stream. He had 10 viewers, and everybody that came in, I was like, hey, welcome to this person's stream, yada, yada, yada. And now he's affiliated, which he never thought was going to happen. And I just think that's a beautiful thing. I think it's a beautiful thing to see people happy and succeed. So that's
Yeah,
typically how we support, because all of our officers do that for people within the community.
that's great to hear, especially at times like there are people that have a certain issue with streaming, especially sometimes with the views and even being able to communicate with the people viewing. And with that, that actually brings out a lot to help out those content creators, and that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like I see, like you see that do a lot of interacting with Twitch, and you do a lot of interacting with the streamers on their streams, like even whether they're like just regular streamers or like people that are part of the Neon Public. So what is something that most of the viewers, especially, can interact with? Like, what can they use to interact with the streamers a little bit more, like based on like the like your Discord channel or anything on your Twitch?
So the biggest thing, of course, like you said, was the Discord channel, and I touched on this a little bit. But the biggest thing within our Discord is we have a promote yourself tab, and we think the best promotion is self promotion. But the best way to grow is to network. And so we've got promo tags. I've got to add one. Like I said, I got to add a Facebook gaming tab. I don't know why that went right over my head. We don't have that one yet, but that one's definitely coming now. But you go in there, you share your promotion, and then within your different teams, there's a specific chat that you can chat with your different teammates. So let's just say, you and the jellyfish smack, you guys vibe. And so you want to collab with them, and that creates a sense of more growth there. But that's the biggest thing, is the promote yourself tab, and then just the general, when people chat in here, we do our best to try to respond to to as many people as often as we can. And that's just really, that's the biggest thing right now. We have a website that's just kind of bare bones right now. I'll be honest with you. It's basically like a link tree, but it's not a link tree. But that's another thing that I would like to help other people grow, is to post them kind of like maybe on a bulletin board or something. I don't know, winners of some things. That's something that hopefully in the near future will be coming to light.
Okay, I can see like a lot more like with especially with being able to choose and share their actual content. You're actually giving a platform for those content creators. That's actually really cool. Now, you guys are part of literally the streaming and gaming community.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you guys want to bring to those communities? What is something that the Neon Public team want to bring for the viewers, the gamers, or even the communities in general?
So to be successful at streaming, I feel, and this is all personal opinion, but I feel it takes two parts. Okay, there are
Mhm.
those who, as in a sense, they're acting, or just chilling on stream or whatnot. But it's a personality. Personality is your first of the 50% to be successful. But the other 50% that I feel like not enough people touch on, but as we've started to grow, I'm seeing good responses from, is the level of professionality, right? So if you go into somebody's stream and it's just scribbled stuff, starting soon, etc., it, to some people, it's like, that's, hey, I like that. But if you go into somebody's stream and it's got like production value quality to it, then it goes, whoa, this person's for real. I want to come back for more. And that's something I feel like the streaming community, to be taken serious, needs, because it's such a niche market right now, and it's still kind of growing itself. But I feel like the more level of professionality, as examples, like you've got Dr. Lupo, you've got Ninja, Tim the Tap Man, Dr. Disrespect, like those people put on a good show for you to
Hmm.
come in. And my favorite, and this is where the weird part comes into play. That's why I say it takes two parts. He doesn't hit as high as numbers as those I just listed, but XQC is one
Hmm.
of my favorite streamers. He is entertaining, but his streaming, like in terms of visual quality and appeal, it's not really there. But his personality is 100% there. And so I feel like both of those things to collide need to collide in order for really big growth to happen, bigger than just the usual growth type deal. So that's something that I am working to try and get my team to have. And then another thing, I feel like a lot of people hate on stream teams, but I feel like stream teams add different personality. And my personality is not the same as the next member of the team, of the stream team. And their personality is not the same as the other member of the stream team. We actually took a personality test just to verify this out of the 16 personalities. And
Hmm.
we're all different, none of us hit the same thing. And that way, in the Neon Public, you find a little bit of everything. You got the rage, the spooks, the comedy, the intellectuality, the competitiveness, skill. It's just we kind of want to tackle everything from every side, and that way it's like a one-stop shop. Who do you want to watch, and there's a reason why you want to watch them, type deal. And here, we don't just I don't know the right word I'm looking for here, but genders are all sorts are welcome. I don't want our stream team to ever evolve into just females or just males, or to exclude those non-binary or who don't want to consider one or the other. I want our stream team to kind of fit the mold of all people, because again, that's the whole goal: is everybody's welcome and nothing is impossible.
Okay, so I'm seeing like a little more of like trying to build up the team, but also the community of different types of gamers and streamers.
Yeah.
I I can see that could be a major change for the gaming community and a major need. That would be something that would be a great choice, and I would like to see Neon Public do that. So as I kind of heard through these actual answers from you, I was also gonna ask like what would be the main goal for Neon Public?
The
What would
main
be
Go ahead.
like the main thing that Neon Public wants to achieve, whether it's in streaming, gaming, or any type of area?
So the biggest thing about the Neon Public for me, and when I recruited my team, and the reason why they follow me, and when I say these things, they're like, you know what? Yes, this guy, yes. The
Mhm.
biggest thing I told them is we have families, right? We have friends, but we have
Mhm.
full time jobs, massive full time jobs, and um, I've got 4 kids myself, and I don't get nearly enough time with them personally. And
Mhm.
so the biggest goal, and everybody jumped on board because yeah, they want this as well. The biggest goal is nothing should be impossible. There are some things that I couldn't fathom to be possible, but this doesn't seem like one of those things.
Mhm.
Um, B, the biggest thing that should come before anything else is your family and your happiness. I feel like those two kind of mend together. Um, and that is the goal for members, the main 5 household leaders, to be able to spend more time with their family and to be happier when when they get off of work, because this is a job. To be happier when they get off of work, and to have more time when their kids are growing up. They don't have to miss so much. There were instances, I know, I grew up, well, I live with my mom for majority, and then my dad I would go to every other weekend, and both my dads would miss some things. They didn't want to. I know they didn't want to, but they had to. You got to pay the bills. You've got to put the food on the table. You've got to, support your family. And I want my members to be able to support their family in something that doesn't take that away from them. When the kids have their soccer game, when they're graduating from karate class, when they've got some award, they're right there. They don't miss it, and they're there. And that's the main goal for the Neon Public, as well as to show that it's not impossible for other people to shoot for almost exactly that.
Okay, so like I'm seeing this, and I like this mentality because mentality is of like try to do something you enjoy and try to earn, like try to get the specific time that you want to spend the way you want to spend it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I can see that, that's actually a pretty cool mentality, especially for some people like nowadays, whether it's in gaming, streaming, or any other
Anything
productive
they love.
area.
Yeah, anything they love. I mean, it doesn't have to be just content creation. It could be, some people have flower shops. Some people want to grow up to be a janitor. I don't. Other people have aspirations. They have dreams of some things that they want to achieve based off of the history of their life growing up. But if you have those dreams, why should you let anybody tell you different? Do you to the best of your ability. Of course, there's responsibility. I'm not telling you don't be responsible. I'm not telling you, drop everything and just chase after your dream, but I am telling you think about what you want to do with your life and think about the next 10 years of where you want to be and start planning that now. Don't wait.
Those are really wise words to live by. Those are some words that I feel like people should live by and try to, follow a lot more.
Oh yeah.
And it's a really big concept that can help out a lot of people, especially for their jobs and for living their life.
Yes, sir.
So I got one last question for you, and we're gonna have to close this out.
Okay.
Um so I get a lot of guests here
Okay.
in EHG interviews. I get as I said, I got many different peoples. I had Meyer, I had my boy Track Pixium on Twitch, which you can also follow him, is on twitch.tv/Trapexium. Link will be in the description. And also my friend number one Cameron Jackson.
Hey, yeah.
Um, yeah, one amazing wrestler. Especially I've known him since high school. And I just want to know, like, maybe you can give me an idea of who I should bring in next for the EHG interviews. Like, who should be my next guest? Like, who do you think should be, like, brought on to speak about, anything?
My personal opinion, I like to change it up somewhat degree because you had Meyer, he makes music. I've got a friend of mine, his name is Devin Alexander. He makes
Mhm.
music and he's actually made a exclusive track for the NeonPublic. And to be honest, I think it would be very entertaining to see what he has to say towards his dreams and his goals, get into the mind of Devin Alexander. So if I had to recommend anybody, it would definitely be him.
Definitely. I actually listened to a couple of his tracks, and he's actually pretty amazing. Which you can actually find him on Instagram and on I believe BeatStars,
Oh yeah,
which you could definitely go ahead and message him for amazing tracks as well. And he has also done amazing content for EHG as well, especially for our outro. So I would definitely go ahead and try to get Devin Alexander as our next guest
I
for the
think that would
EHG
be
interview.
phenomenal.
Yeah, yes, it would be definitely phenomenal.
Um,
But
One
yes,
last piece before we go. Something I feel like is kind of necessary right now.
mm,
Um, so just recently, Chadwick Boseman had passed away. Most people know him as the Black Panther, and I only feel like it would be the proper due respect to say, "Rest in peace, my guy." You had a long fight, you had a good fight, and we're all proud of you.
yes, Chadwick Boseman. A lot of people would know him for the role in Black Panther. Um, I remember like a little bit of a role. It was him playing, I believe, as Jackie Robinson in a movie, and also I believe James Brown, right?
Mm-hmm.
And him, him being an actor and his career was absolutely amazing. And that man, especially when he started to play as T'Challa in Marvel,
Mm-hmm.
and you saw like how he acted, how amazing of a character he was. You saw that he was Black Panther. He was absolutely amazing. He was just great, and to hear of that, he had passed was very sad and very very like it put major weights on the heart. So I would like to say rest in peace to Mr. Chadwick Boseman,
Yes,
and you know
and to
it
all of
will.
his family. I know this is probably a hard time, and I don't think they'll ever see this video, but to all of his family, we wish the best for you guys. He loved you guys. I know very well he did. Not personally, but he seems like an amazing man,
Mhm.
and he'll be thinking of you and watching over you guys. So don't fret.
Yes, and thank you, Chadwick Boseman, for your hard work. And you it as I tell people, it's not a goodbye. It will be a see you later. And rest easy, my friend.
Yes.
And with that, we're gonna close this off.
Thank,
Thank you very much, Captain Cairo, for
thank
being
you
a
very much. That had a blast. This was awesome. This was very awesome.
yes. It was really great. Now people know a lot more about who you are, and that's why I always do these interviews. And I'm glad to have you as a guest here.
Yes,
And
of course. Anytime, my guy.
yes, and thank you for those who have watched this. Make sure to subscribe to the EHG community. Definitely turn on your notifications where we get new streams and new videos set out. Definitely join us on our Facebook group, our Discord channel. You can also check out our merchandise. And by all means, go ahead and follow the Neon Public. You can go ahead and follow many different streamers from CaptainKairo, Queen Esme, B Biohazard, you have Legend of Kuro, and you also have I believe the Brock 89.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to see amazing different streams such as, like horror contents, like getting streams from Valorant, from, things Apex, I would say Dead by Daylight and many other titles, by all means follow them and show your support to the Neon Public and make sure to join their Discord.
Greatly appreciated. Thank you, my guy.
Yes, thank you very much. And by all means, this was Crazy Maze 98, aka Nicholas Morales, founder of the EHG community, with our special guest Captain Cairo. And remember that there is always something amazing on the horizon.